if you're like me, I love like top 10 lists. You put like top something and I will read it. It's part
easy.
of marketing
It's like,
gimmick or something. But
yeah, it's like I want to hear what number one is.
And I like to hear what people's favorite games are.
Right.
When I talk to people at tournaments and in a league, that's something that I'm curious about to see what makes them tick.
And I've noticed we've been getting that question in our chats a lot during Twitch streams, like what are your favorite Stern games or what are your top 10 machines?
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah, we get that. Yeah, I feel like every stream somebody's like, "What game do you like the most? What game do you hate the most?" And we'll get there.
Tune in on Monday.
That's probably even more fun. Talking about like the top 10 turds.
Well, we can get to that. I think they're all in our tournament coming up.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Maybe
there.
not the top 10, but there's going to be a significant amount. So we don't know each other's top 10.
Yeah,
we
that's
kept it a secret
the thing.
from each
Kept
other.
It a secret so we can react genuinely.
And not only do we have each other's top 10 lists, but we also have a top 10 for Martha and a special guest appearance from Mixer Tuna coming up.
Oh, you guys are spoiled.
So many top 10s.
All right, so we're going to start at 10.
All right.
And Kevin's going to kick it off.
I am. So I have to say, going into this, I based this off of games I've played. And my ranking is based on like not like critical acclaim or, you know, where I feel things should be ranked. It's where how much fun I have with these pinball machines, with the Sterns that I've played and how much time I've put into them. So that being said, number 10 is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Okay.
So Ripley's is a game that I've wanted for a long time. I started off, I think the first time I ever played it was on Pinball Arcade. And I was really new to pinball, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with this game? There's so much happening. But as I've gotten better at pinball and I've understood rules better, it's a game that's really deep. The artwork's not the best looking. It's got some weird, funky call-outs and stuff, but the more I get into pinball, the more I like it, and that's on my want list.
Okay. Good to know. I know you wanted one, and someone in our league, Jeff Becker, just picked one up yesterday. So we're going to be doing a stream on it in the next month or two.
Looking forward to it.
So there you go.
All right. What's your number 10?
Cool. My number 10 is, and let me also preference all this too. I think I agree with everything Kevin said. It's not what... There might be games where I can say that, yeah, I can see why that's a good game. I can see why people like it, but it doesn't resonate with me as much. So when I was doing this top 10, I'm thinking, if I had to own these, if I had to own Stern machines, where would they be down the line? And I try to do that. Like, okay, this wouldn't be the first one to go if I only had 9, right? And so on and so forth. So my number 10 Stern, believe it or not, is Big Buck Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is about that game. I know people think I'm crazy, but it's a John Borg design. I like the design in the game. It's challenging. I think the Buck toy is really fun and really satisfying. I like the theme, not because I'm a hunter, because I like the video game, but it's sort of this, I want to say lighthearted, even though you're shooting animals, but it is. It's kind of comic, right? It has some humor in it, which there's not a lot of pinball machines with humor. Not that the humor's even hilarious, but it just, I like the way it looks. I like the way it shoots. The rules really drag it back for me, and that's why it's not any higher. But Big Buck Hunter, and if you hate the game and it's because you played it on location, a lot of the ones I play on location are trashed. We have one on location too. It's just, that game sucks, you know? And then you go and play mine, which is a home use only, and it shoots perfectly, and I think you'd have a different experience. So number 10, Big Buck Hunter.
Yep. Agreed. It's a fun game, and I never get tired of hitting the buck when he sneaks out. So number 9. My number 9 is World Poker Tour. Another, I feel, underrated game. Good bang for the buck game. Another game that's really ugly, but it's again, it's when I started playing pinball, I would have never given this game a second look, but now that I know more of what's going on, I understand the rules. I've you've had it at your place for a long time, and you kind of explain the rules to me. I really find myself enjoying that game more and more. It tends to be a longer playing game, which some people like, some people don't. I think in a small collection, it could work either way. Like in a small collection, maybe you want a longer playing game because it's your only game, or if you have a bunch of butt kicker games and you want one that you can kind of last a little bit longer and get deeper and deeper into, highly recommend World Poker Tour.
That's not on my list, but it's a good value, and things that Kevin's saying, I totally agree with. Right on the mark. Best value pin, I think. Best value Stern at like $2,500. Yeah. You can still get one at.
Yep.
My number 9 is Family Guy.
All right.
And the last few pins picking on the list were kind of tough for me. I knew Big Buck Hunter had to be there. Family Guy. I don't love Family Guy, but number one, I think the theme's great. I'm not a huge Family Guy fan, but I do like Family Guy. I think it makes me laugh when I play the game. I like that the layout is something different. I love that mini playfield. It's the best mini playfield in pinball that I can think of. It's just fun. I would love to have one in my collection at some point. Might not be a keeper, and that's why it's at number 9. But number 9 for me is Family Guy.
You do want to go Shrek in here, All-Star over and over again?
No, it's okay. I got to do that sometimes playing on location at Pocket 2. It's okay.
That's enough for you. Okay. My number 8 is Stern's Star Trek. So Star Trek...
does it matter pro or premium?
I could go either way on that game.
Okay, fair
I don't
enough.
think there's enough gameplay difference between the two.
Yeah, good answer.
I do have a few where I specified one or the other, but I think it's got the little up kicker and then mostly cosmetic differences, not real big gameplay differences between those. But that's a game I have fun playing. It's kind of one of those it's lower on my list though because it's one of those Steve Ritchie games where it's like return to the flipper, return to the flipper, return to the flipper, and after a while it's like all right, and all the modes sort of feel the same, and I find it satisfying and fun to like try to get to Kobayashi Maru and things like that, and the multi-balls are fun. Some of the I don't know. I've been a little sour on Steve Ritchie games like that lately. I liked them more earlier on in my pinball career, but now it's like I still appreciate it for what it is. I still have fun playing it, but maybe not quite as much as I used to.
I think that's fair. I feel almost the exact same way. Like I love Steve Ritchie games, but I don't have any Steve Ritchie games. It's kind of weird. Like I like playing them, and I've owned Star Trek, but I see what you're saying about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So that's number 8 for Kevin
Number
is Stern Star Trek.
Yep.
Of course, it's Stern Nick. My number 8. This is a weird pick for me. I don't know how it made my list in some ways, but Pirates of the Caribbean. Just kind of thinking that I have a respect for that game. Never owned it. I've played a decent amount. It's stop and go, which is not one of my favorite things, but I like the idea that there is a stop and go game. For me would be Pirates. I think the toy in the game is outstanding. I think it looks good. I think it does justice to the theme. I would love to have that in a collection of 10 Sterns just to kind of balance everything out. And spoiler alert, the weird thing is I had Pirates on there, and then someone brought up Spider-Man. I was like, oh my God, I don't have Spider-Man on there. So I took Pirates off, but I put it back in. So Spider-Man's not on my list, which is weird. Now, this is the kind of the caveat in the beginning where I can see why Spider-Man's a great game. All right. But I don't have it on my list because I get bored of it really easy. And maybe that would happen to Pirates in some of these other games, but number 8 for me, Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was after that game you had in our selfie league when you played it for like 3 hours straight. You were like, I'm done with Spider-Man.
Yeah, it just wears. And I see why people sell it. I see why they don't hold on to it. Like Spider-Man looks good, plays good, but you can just maybe it's the Steve Ritchie thing. It returns to flipper. It's too safe, and you can almost get too good at it. And someone's going to say, "Well, have you gotten this mode?" No, but it's a longer playing game, and you sort of lose interest when you kind of go into autopilots with some of those games.
Cool.
So, all right, number 7 for Kevin.
Number 7 for me is Metallica, and this is a game that I was a little sour on. I think just because playing it in tournaments, it's in every tournament. I was just so sick of playing it. But honestly, after watching Tuna play it so much and like helping understand the rules more, and then going to your house and playing it more with a better understanding of the rules, I'm definitely appreciating it more. And I'm glad because it's like I like the band, I like the art. Obviously, I like the music because I like the band. The Lars call-outs, whatever. Now that I understand the rules a little bit better, definitely digging it more. Highly recommend checking out Metallica. Everybody pretty much loves Metallica.
Yeah,
so
I didn't realize the rules were holding you back from appreciating it, or you didn't really understand the rules. What were the rules? What changed it for you?
Like the collecting the things, like the different like shots and like being able to lock in the shots.
Oh,
and
you didn't
like
know that?
I sort of did, but like I was always playing it in tournaments. So it's like I would always just go for Sparky,
right?
Because it was a safe thing to do in match play, and it's like I never really put the time into it to get a feel for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if now that you tell me this and you play it more and you spent more time with it and got even deeper into the game, that would move up on your list.
Okay. Fair enough. I hope it does.
Because you don't have to do Sparky all
Right,
all
and
day when you're playing. There's other ways to approach the game, thankfully. But I
Absolutely.
understand why people do it in tournaments. So okay, cool. So my number 7 is Mustang from Stern.
Nice, good one.
A bit of an underrated game, a bit of a surprise maybe to some people who really just go crazy over theme or whatever. The game has no toy in it, which is kind of crazy to think about.
No, it literally has a toy in it, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you can't interact with it, so
Yeah.
therefore it's not like a toy.
Yeah.
That's my definition of a toy. So I like it. I like the rules in the game. I like the kind of push your luck with the gears and canceling out a multi-ball. I like the shot on the left where it can kind of return it to the left flipper, or it can go not even up the ramp, or it can go up to the ramp to the little spinning kind of saucer reminiscent of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yep.
I like how you can change the mystery ward. I like the modes in the game. I mean, and it's pretty damn fast. There's a lot to like about it. The theme does absolutely nothing for me. I'm not a car person, but if I was a car person, I would have picked other cars.
Yeah.
So Mustang, man, it's if there's something preventing you and you haven't really played the game and you're writing it off because of the theme, spend some time with it. I think you'll be surprised. So that's my number 7, Mustang Pinball.
Yeah, for me, this was a game that I struggled with. I really wanted to have it on my list, and it was on my list. It's actually I have my preliminary list over here that I wrote, and Mustang was on there. And it ended up just not making the cut. So it's on kind of my other list, games that probably would be in my top 10, or top 13 or so. But that's a game that's on the Stern Pinball Arcade. So if you want to learn it more, you can download that and play
cool.
that and learn the rules on that. I know Wildcat in the chat really learned how to play it that way, and he's been
cool.
He's been digging it on location.
Yeah.
All right. So number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6 for me is Iron Man, and Iron Man. I've started to get better at, and that's why I think I am enjoying it more. It's not higher on my list. I don't know. You got to put a game somewhere, and that's where it falls for me in my top 10. I like it. I like it because it's got that rule set where it's you can do it all. It's all right there for you at all times. You just need to actually make it happen. So the music is great. I like the theme. I love the Marvel movies and stuff like that. So Iron Man. As we've talked about, when it came out, people are like, "Oh, it's a glorified EM with 2 ramps and a couple pop bumpers." But it's a fun, tough game it gives you that one more go at the start button kind of feeling.
Iron Man should be on everybody's top 10 list, for the record. I'm not going to judge you where it comes on it, but if it's not on somebody's top 10 list, I think that's suspect. I think you need to spend more time with the game if you haven't, or I'd like to talk to you as to why you wrote it off or it's not on your top 10.
Well, Pup Chase hates Iron Man, so and we got some other opinions in the chat room.
Man, why? Because it's mean? That's the only reason somebody said I hate it because it's mean, then I'm like, that's why you should love it, because it's mean. It's the only. Well, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
All right, yeah.
And you can. I haven't said it yet, so it's on the list somewhere. The question is, where?
I knew it was coming. That's one I guarantee. I know at least 2, 3 of your other ones that are coming up.
Well, it's kind of funny. My number 6 is Tron.
Oh, there you go.
Probably Kevin's favorite game. I'm guessing. That's my guess. We'll see. So I've owned a Tron before. I've sold it. What I love about Tron is I like the movie. Looks pretty good when you deck it out with mods.
It is the ultimate mod game.
I like that I like the shot setup. I like Tommy. I like Congo and kind of the fun house. I like that layout. That works for me. The music's amazing in it. Just a great game. My problem with it, and when I sold it, is just you seem to play the game the same way every time. And that's, short plunge, scoop, and then shoot Cora, and then kind of rinse, wash, repeat. Now, I know you've got to shoot everything in the game, but maybe that's just why it's not higher. But I love Tron. If I saw Tron on location, if I'm out when I'm at Kevin's house, I'll always play Tron. Never fails.
Yep.
So number 6 for me was Tron.
Yep. And we'll get to my opinion on Tron a little bit later. It's a little bit higher up in my list. So let's get to number 5. Number 5 for me is Sopranos, the latest addition to the Lane and Martha Arcade. This is a game. I think I want to say the first time I saw it was probably at Bruce's house, and I was like, "Yeah, The Sopranos is I never watched the show, and I'm like, it looks kind of ugly, and there's all these old people on the backlash." I remember my son's 10, and I don't know, like a year ago or so. He's like, it's like a game for old people, just like looking at the cabinet. It's like, well, it kind of is. It's for adults, but it's got like.
You're not an adult?
Yeah.
All right.
He's not an adult.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Shots fired.
Yep. It's got like the classic George Gomez layout, right? It kind of feels like Lord of the Rings or
Monster Bash,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's got a talking fish. It's got a safe. I love the stacking the 2 multi-balls. I really like making that happen. That's really satisfying.
It's got a lot of toys in it. It's got a lot going on in it.
It does. And like there's so many modes and rules and a lot to get accomplished. A lot to accomplish. Another great bang for your buck game. That's starting to edge its way up, I think, though, in value, but I really like The Sopranos. I have fun playing that.
Yeah, and funny, somehow, when we did the game room updates in this podcast, I didn't update. I don't know. I think we got distracted. I'm sure, here's the deal. I probably jumped up and said something else. But game room update, Martha purchased a Sopranos pinball machine. So that is now in our collection. Good for her. She's on a roll. Yeah. She's gotten 2 pinball machines. One was bought for me, which is the Harlem, which we talked about last time, and now Sopranos. So really cool. It's not on my list. I don't, and it kind of should be.
Yeah.
My thing is, I've had a Sopranos before. I babysat one for maybe about a year, and I think I've just played the heck out of it. And at least in factory settings, it's too easy. Yeah. I got to the real wizard mode again.
Okay.
Last week on stream, and I did it on the stream. So I think for me to enjoy that, I definitely have to turn the extra balls off. But Martha's not gonna let me turn the extra balls off. So
it's her game.
I don't think I'm really ever gonna play that game. It's kind of a shame. Or I guess I'll just plunge the extra balls, but that's kind of lame. Or just change the rule every time. Who knows? Maybe she won't even notice. Maybe that's really mean. But maybe I'll turn up extra balls and I'll enjoy it for a while. But anyways, it's not on my list. But Kevin's right. It's a great game. There's a lot to like about Sopranos.
Yep. So. Super fun. All right. What's your number 5?
My number 5. Again, I kind of surprised myself when I really sat down and thought about things, but Game of Thrones Premium, in particular Premium, I don't know what it is. I like that game. I don't love it, but I enjoy playing it. I seem to do well on it, and I don't like it because I do well on it. I think I do well on it because I like it.
Okay.
And one of the things I really like about it is, the ability to choose different houses, the ability to have different approaches to the strategy. I like that Steve Ritchie doesn't want you to hold onto the ball, even though it almost has a stop-and-go nature because you're rewarded by the multipliers. And that's another theme that I'm starting to notice that I really like, which, spoiler alert, this is what I like about my number 1, is that you can multiply shots, and you can just really set things up where you can just have this shot that's worth a ridiculous amount of points. And it's almost like gambling to me because you just get that payoff that might happen. You're chasing that. So Game of Thrones Premium, in particular the Premium, I'm okay with the upper play field. I think Pro's fine as well, but that's my number 5.
Yeah, the Premium is definitely the best looking of the 3, too. And no surprise to anybody that has been listening to the podcast or watching the streams, Game of Thrones is not on my list. It just does nothing for me. I think the rules is just like too much. It's like, I don't care.
Do you think Tuna can Tuna save you? Can Tuna teach you?
I had him give me the tutorial at PDQ, and it still didn't. Like, I was like, okay, I got to Hand of the King, and that was okay. But I walked away from the game, and I didn't find myself wanting to go back and play it again. It was just like, eh.
Well, do you think that having that many rules and then having the machine in your house, do you think that would help?
That might be like if I had it here and I was able to put a whole bunch of time into it and really, maybe it's a great home game and that's what people really enjoy about it. But for me, it's like, eh.
Okay, so I mean, I would say that's what makes it good is that there's so much to kind of crack open and really attack the game and explore the game, right? You're not going to get bored of it because you're doing the same thing all the time. But
yep.
I think I'd be curious. Somebody bring Kevin Game of Thrones Premium.
Yep.
Let him borrow it give him 3 months. All right, give him 3 months so he doesn't no pressure.
Yep.
And then we'll come back in 3 months. We'll ask Kevin how he feels about the game.
There you go.
All right,
I'm down for that. Anybody that wants to bring one over, give me an email.
So all right, we're at number 4 now.
Number 4,
moving right along.
Number 4 for me is Spider-Man. We talked a little bit about it, the game earlier about shots returning to flippers and things like that. But the shots I find the shots tougher on this than say like Star Trek. They're more narrow, a little tougher to make. Again, I like stacking the multi balls. I like the VE, the Vault Edition with the new artwork. It looks great. But yeah, it's one of those games I just every time I play it, I have fun. So that's
Cool.
why I tie up on my
Key
list.
ingredient.
Key ingredient, especially with the new VE. I don't know value wise if it's worth the extra bucks for that, but I like it. I have fun with it. Spider-Man.
Cool. My number 4 is another Steve Ritchie game as well, and that's Star Trek.
Boom.
Great game. I owned Star Trek Ellie, and I ended up selling it, but that was before the code updates. Not only the medals, but even the one before that. So that's really unfortunate. I wouldn't mind having a Star Trek again. I know Martha really likes that game. We have one on location, so I can always get my fix, but I think it's great. I like what they did with the medals. I like how you're rewarded for hitting the shots and having the ball always in play and not just kind of timing things out and holding on to it. You know, it can be really fast. It's very smooth. There's a lot of modes, and the modes when you get to level 2 and 3 kind of get interesting if you want to go in that. And it's nice that it opens up to the player to make that decision if they want to just kind of do all the level 1 modes and then go to level 2 if they want to do like level 1, 2, 3 in a particular mode, like a Nero 1, 2, 3, something like that. So great game. The choreography of like the lights on like the warp ramp and the lasers is really cool on the premium and LE. So my number 4 is Star Trek.
Awesome. And if you want to see somebody blow it up, go back to the Pinball Done Quick highlights, and Austin got to whatever is it 5-year mission, the ultimate wizard mode on that?
Yes.
Yeah, he got to
That's
it.
amazing.
It was ridiculous.
I never came close to that. I never got to the second wizard mode.
Yep. That's what I saw that, and I was like, you want to stream on the channel? You're hired.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Number 3 for me. So top 3. We're into the top 3.
So here it comes, folks.
Number 3 for me is Ghostbusters Pro.
All right.
So Ghostbusters Pro. I like everything about Ghostbusters. It's fun. The artwork is great. Music's great. Shots are tough but makeable for the most part. That's why I picked the Pro, because it's got a little less of the cheapness, cheese factor to it. Again, with the caveat that I think this is a game that plays better when you're able to have it in your house and really dial it in the way it needs to be set up to be playing well and be able to make the shots and not get, balls hopping over out lanes and things like that. So there are getting some feedback on the Ghostbusters pick here. But yeah, it's I don't know. It just strikes all the chords for me. If you can get one that's playing well, highly recommend it.
I'm glad you got that game. I'm glad you have it, so I get to play it. If I could have done this and put Kevin's Ghostbuster and have that count as a top 10, I would, maybe somewhere like 10. But it's not on my list. And I think I've made all my disagreements known
Yes.
with Ghostbusters.
And there's a specific reason why I didn't put the premium on here. Well, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but
Yeah.
it's the left ramp is ridiculous. The Magna Slings are ridiculous. Air balls are even worse on it. So yeah,
I have fun playing yours.
Yeah.
Kevin has his really like tuned up, dialed in, all that. Like it plays nice, but most of them just cheap drains.
yeah,
Because of design flaws.
yep.
Okay. My number 3 is my first game that I ever got and was my number 1 for so long is Iron Man. I think Iron Man is such a great game. I've heard, Kevin kind of brought this up before, but I've heard people call it like an EM on steroids. I think that's fair. Maybe even a solid state on steroids. And what they mean by that is it's got that short ball time. Mm-hmm. You're not going to, if you got like a 5-minute game of Iron Man going, you probably blew it up. And that's what I love about it. It's the one pinball machine. I can't think of a single other pinball machine that it feels like it's actually fighting you back. You can get so immersed in the game. Such a good game. They only dropped because there have been a couple of games that has come out since then that I think are better in terms of rules that make it more interesting, kind of intellectually for me, in the way I approach a game. I don't think the rules are broken on Iron Man. It is what it is. It's sort of a shallow rule set that actually just fits it perfectly. It's hard to even make some tweaks on it. But Iron Man, number 3, absolutely love the game. First game I ever got. I can't ever see myself getting rid of that. Go out and play it if you haven't played or spent much time on it.
Agreed. So Boomerski wants to know whose pin is Hot Tip. Hot Tip isn't made by Stern. Otherwise, it would be number 1 on everyone's list.
Yeah.
All right. Top 2. Number 2 for me is Tron. Tron is, we've talked about it on the podcast, but it's a game for me that it was when I was first getting into pinball. It was the first like reveal of a game that I saw, and I'm a big Tron fan, and I was stoked on the movie, and I'm like, oh man, they're making a pinball machine too, and it was. I was like, I'll probably never own one because it's a new in-box game, and Bruce ended up selling his, and I sold a bunch of stuff and got it, and I've been modding it out ever since, and really enjoying it. I'm not quite as like, it's probably like the same with you with Iron Man. It's like you play a game so much and it's like it loses that initial luster a little bit, but it's still like if I can get on that game and I can get it going and put everything together and light it up, it's still a great feeling game. Not a real long playing game. The music's great. The theme really does it for me. I love all the mods that are available for it. So awesome. Tron, number 2.
Cool, solid. My number 2 is Metallica. It doesn't really matter if it's pro or premium. I think Metallica is such a great game. I think the risk reward pressure lock element of the crank it up mode, which is it's not something you get to all the time, but it's certainly achievable. It's going to happen maybe 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 games. I think that's a fair statement. Just great, just a great, beautiful artwork. There's multiple ways to approach it. Again, I think what really works with me is the Lyman Sheets rules of when you're in crank it up. Do you keep on playing for more points? There's so many times I've been playing that game. Like, do I keep on going? I'm in a groove. Do I keep on trying to build that jackpot up? Or do I just cash out? Or do I just get out of this mode as quickly as possible out of crank it up and try to get to another crank it up? And when you give the player the ability to make decisions in terms of how they approach a pinball machine, that to me is what makes a pinball machine great. I like that. I like having some kind of cerebral element to it and strategy that changes depending on whether you're playing by yourself and you still have options, or you're playing against your opponent, you step up and you say, what do I go for? Risk reward. Such a great game. Lyman Sheets, man, all the way. That's Metallica Pinball at my number 2.
Awesome. So I noticed there's one game that I know we both like that hasn't been on either one of our lists. So I'm guessing we both have the same number 1.
Holy shit, that's your number 1? I think, all right, go ahead, Kev.
Should we both say it on 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Walking Dead. Oh, wow. I knew you liked Walking Dead, and I wasn't surprised that was going to be in your top 3. I didn't realize it was going to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Why don't you give a love fest with Walking Dead?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like with the latest code, and I just can never get enough of going for bloodbath and trying to kill all the modes and like just blow the game. The game has this awesome potential to just blow up, and I love that when you make it happen. And it's just like you're in the hundreds of millions, and you're like, yes, because it makes you work for it. It does. It's not like here's a bunch of points. You have to make it happen. So, love the theme. Playfield's the toys are pretty cool. I like that the layout's kind of non-traditional. It's sort of a fan layout, but it's got that big long ramp on the right and the on the well walker, or not the well walker, the bicycle girl ramp and stuff like that.
So you're talking about the premium. I think it's important to say.
The premium. Honestly, I like both of the games. Either way,
even without the cheat button.
Yeah, I can play without the cheat button.
Okay.
That I like for the cheat button's cool, but I also like the nice smooth left ramp too on the pro. That's got doesn't have to lift up. So there are benefits to both.
Okay.
But yeah, I love it. Why don't you give your why is Walking Dead number 1 for you?
Kevin said it, and I said it when I was talking about Game of Thrones. I really like this rule that Lyman has put in there that you can have like a multiplier and you can really build it up, so you can get 2x, 3x, 4x. You can just really, if you set things up right, you can really blow it up. And it's not just the multiplier. I mean, that's a simple trick that you can put in a game. It's, bloodbath and stacking it and the multiplier or starting this mode. And again, just another game where you play it and you have a lot of choice as a player. There's a lot of times, even though I've played the heck out of that game, I've had it for a year where I'm like, what do I do now? Or let's try this strategy, or let's try that, and surprising myself that, this works as well, or watching another player approach the game, and they do it completely different, but they might have just as good as a result. So it's got a lot of longevity in my collection just because of the rule set that Lyman put in the game. And again, it's John Borg design, so A lot of shots are coming back at you. It's a difficult game. Very difficult. Very draining on the left and right. A lot of side-to-side action. It can be really frustrating. But the beauty of that is like, okay, I got it this time. One more game. I'm going to hit that X multiplier. I'm just going to hit a shot that's going to be worth like 100 million. Or how satisfying is it when you hit that shot and you didn't even realize you had the multiplier built up. You set up all the multi-balls and you're like, look at that shot was worth 100 million. Something crazy like that. It's super satisfying. It's a great game. And both of our number ones, which I didn't realize was Stern Walking Dead.
There you go.